Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the Spearhead for the Stormcast Eternals and trying to figure out what the heck it's for and why. But before we do, this video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we got the new announcement for Spearhead Stormcast Eternals, a reforged army box to strike down Sigmar's foes. There will soon be an even easier way to muster immortal warriors of Sigmar to tabletop battles against most of the mortal realms can throw at you. Spearhead Stormcast Eternals is loaded with miniatures, representing a balanced fighting force out of the box, and a way to add a powerful leader to some valuable reinforcements to your roster. Alright, so here we see the actual Spearhead, which is kind of weird because you would expect that the Stormcast Eternals would get a Vanguard box like everybody else. You guys know that I've been suspecting for a while now that Games Workshop with the launch of 4th edition Age of Sigmar is going to basically make the Combat Patrol equivalent, and that's going to be our Vanguard boxes. And if you don't know what I mean, essentially Combat Patrol is like a 500 point roughly game right out of the box. Everything comes as is. You put everything together, you play it, you're good to go. They got one for every faction. There's special rules and everything that go along with it. But it just takes like a lot of the hard decisions, especially when you're getting started with the new army or with the new game, out of the picture. You build the box how it comes. You get very limited amount of like special rules, equipment, stuff that you can change. And they're roughly like matched equal to each other so that you can have like some fun and competitive games. So over the last couple of years, Games Workshop has been releasing all of the Vanguard boxes for Age of Sigmar and replacing the Start Collecting boxes, which is exactly what they did prior to Combat Patrol coming out with the new 10th edition Warhammer 40k. So obviously I'm expecting them to do something very similar because it worked in 40k. It's been popular, it's fun, it's exciting. I personally love it. So I figured that's got to be what they're doing for Age of Sigmar as well. But now, instead of calling this Stormcast Eternals box a Vanguard box, which they don't have one yet, they're calling it the Spearhead, which is strange because not too long ago, the kruleboyz, the orruks, who also came in the Dominion box set and are featured in all the starter sets, just got their Vanguard box. So you would just assume that that's what this is going to be. So what the heck is going on? Who is this product for? And what kind of price are we looking at on this? So let's take a closer look and I'll give you guys my opinion. Led by Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear, this box set contains 16 plastic Citadel miniatures, including a Stormstrike chariot pulled by a pair of Griff Chargers. Bulking out the set are a unit each of Vanquishers and Annihilators and a Knight Vexillor, to proudly carry the banners of the Stormcast Eternals into battle, ablaze with glorious light of celestial energies. So it's 3 Annihilators, 10 Vanquishers, a Stormstrike chariot, Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear, and then the Knight Vexillor with banner. And if we just jump over to the store here real quick, we'll see that this is basically the Thunderstrike command, which is one unique sprue that came in the Dominion box set. And it has Yndrasta, it has the 3 Annihilators, and then it has the Vexillor with banner. So that alone is $125. And then if we just scroll down here, we'll see that 10 Vanquishers is $65. So that would be $190. And then the Chariot is $55, which is $245 in minis. So $245 in minis is a little bit on the heavy side for them to price this at $140, which is what all the Vanguard boxes are. And again, they changed the name to Spearhead. So what the heck are they doing? What is this product for? Who is this product for? Etc. Because it's not like you can't just buy that sprue for $125 and get all these guys, and then just buy a Stormstrike chariot, buy some Vanquishers if that's what you want to do. So obviously discount boxes are exactly that. You know, you get a big box, you get a bunch of stuff together, you don't get as much choice, but you save some money. But why isn't it called the Vanguard? And then if we just jump over here, we'll see a Vanguard box for basically not quite every faction yet, but almost all of them. Soulblight Gravelords, Osiarch Bone Reapers, but the one we want to like focus in on is the Orruk one that came out not that long ago, the kruleboyz. So this is the kruleboy box, which is $140, and they basically did the exact same thing. They took the special sprue that came in Dominion that was unique to that set, and then they basically just put it in this box set with some other stuff. So that sprue was the Belcha banner, it was the killaboss on Great Nashtooth, and then it was the Manskewer Boltboyz. And then again, they added in the Killbow, and then 10 of the regular kruleboyz. So priced at $140. But that one is called the Vanguard Orruk War Clans. So if it's $125 for just that sprue right here, it seems unlikely that they're going to price this at $140 and you're going to pay like another $15 and get the chariot and then also the Vanquishers. But maybe you are, in which case, why didn't they just call it a Vanguard box? So lots of questions in my opinion, and I guess soon we'll get some answers when we get like an official price on this when it actually comes out. But does that mean that they're going to now release spearheads for all the factions? Does this mean this is just some fluke? Does this completely blow up my idea about the Vanguards for every faction? Did they just accidentally call this a Spearhead and it's supposed to be called a Vanguard? I honestly don't know. Initially released in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Dominion box, Yndrasta was previously available in Thunderstrike Command box, and is also the star of the eponymous Black Library novel. Tasked with seeking out and slaying the most deadly beasts of the mortal realms, Yndrasta, the Sigmar's prime huntress, with a penchant for silently dropping off freshly decapitated heads at the foot of the God King's throne. She lives to track down the biggest game and deliver their end with her spear Thengavar and the blade of high heavens. So awesome model right here. Absolutely love the art of the novel. Very, very cool, like lore and everything for Yndrasta. If Stormcast Eternals are not your jam, then A, may Sigmar have mercy on your soul, and B, fear not, as we're reliably informed that plenty of other factions from across the mortal realms will be getting their own Spearhead boxes in due course. Spearhead Stormcast Eternals will be available to pre-order soon. So lots of other factions are going to get their Spearhead soon, right after they basically rolled out all these Vanguard boxes. Just seems very strange to me. And then recycling this sprue into this box now. So it was in Dominion, which we know was like a complete flop. Not because it was a bad product, but they just massively overproduced it. Or arguably it was just too expensive. But one way or another, you could pick it up for $100 literally for the last couple years. And even now you can regularly see it for like $100 to $120. And the Age of Sigmar 3rd edition has been out now for almost 3 years. I mean, we're coming up on 4th edition launch. And these things are still like $100 to $120 shipped, which is 50% of what the MSRP was when they first came out. So obviously there was a massive problem. And then on top of that, Games Workshop clearly has not been selling any of that sprue for $125. So why would anyone buy that sprue for $125? We can get the whole box set for like $100 to $125, have an entire Stormcast Eternals army, a rulebook, and then also the kruleboyz. So is this just Games Workshop's way to like repack a sprue that they haven't been able to sell after a launch box that was overproduced that they hadn't been able to sell? I mean, it really looks like it. But now they're saying that we're going to get all of these other boxes as well, all these other Spearheads. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. I don't know, it just seems very strange to me. So we saw the Dawnbringer boxes come out not that long ago, and they like sold pretty good overall. A couple of them are still available in the store. We saw the actual Vanguard boxes come out for basically every faction now. I want to say there's still like 1 or 2 missing, but I think that may be it by now. I can't think of one off the top of my head that doesn't have a Vanguard box now. But we see like the Dawnbringer Gloomspite, Dawnbringer Fireslayers, and Dawnbringer Maggotkin are all still available in stock right now. Let's count these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 18 of them out. So there's 9 order factions, 4 death factions, 7 chaos factions, that's 20, and 4 destruction factions. So 24 total. So some of them are missing, but stuff like Sons of Behemoth, it's pretty hard, I think, for them to make a box like that. Also, you have like sub factions. Like right now we have the Orruk Warclans, so we have a Kruleboy box, but we don't have an Ironjawz box, which is one of the most popular factions. So yeah, there's definitely a few of these that are still missing. So does that mean that Games Workshop is scrapping the idea of the Vanguard boxes and now we're going to get these new Spearhead boxes, and then that's going to basically be the equivalence of Combat Patrol? Does this mean that I'm completely wrong about the idea of like Sigmar Combat Patrol altogether? I honestly don't know. And like I said, this box right here has given me like more questions than answers. So very curious what Games Workshop is doing right here. I love big boxes. I love when they give us discounts, but this one to me just doesn't make a lot of sense. It definitely feels like they're doing what they did with the Kruleboy box. It definitely feels like they're trying to get rid of a bunch of that sprue that they're just not able to sell. And I can't imagine the Vanguard Kruleboyz has sold all that well, if any at all. But yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Always like to hear back from you guys. Always like to hear your opinions, your 2 cents. Maybe I'm missing something. Off the top of your head, obviously I could go through and figure it out, but which Vanguard boxes are actually missing? The Sons of Behemoth obviously is one of them. They could totally put like a couple of Man Crushers in there, but I mean, I guess that would just be like the Man Crusher mob. I think most of these have about $200 worth of models inside of them and they sell for $140, so they're about like a 33% discount. That's pretty much Games Workshop's like go-to. So like realistically, it would basically be either one of the big Mega Gargants, which is like $200 and they sell it for $140, which wouldn't really make much sense. Or it would be like a Man Crusher mob, which is $160, and then they just sell that for $140. So again, it just really wouldn't make all that much sense for them to do that. There's not really like a good way for them to do that that's not already packaged on its own. I really would like to see a Iron Jaws box, as like I have a bunch of Iron Jaws, absolutely love them. They're one of my main armies, and a ton of new models came out for them recently, so I was kind of waiting to buy like a bunch of the extra stuff, hoping that they were going to release a Vanguard box for them. But yeah, very curious to hear your guys' opinions on this one. So let me know down in the comments what you think Games Workshop is up to, what you think they should do, what you hope they will do. Does this just feel like one more desperate attempt for them to unload those Yondasta sprues on us? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I really hope we get like a Vanguard Combat Patrol equivalent for Sigmar, but maybe it's just going to be called Spearhead now, and I'm out of here.